Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for a weekly angel reading for April 8th through the 14th, 2019. So let's take a deep breath together and allow yourselves to be centered in your heart space. Allow yourself to feel, to be aware of the presence of your holy light that resides within you. Be aware of the presence of the divine that lights you up from within, that is sort of like your lighthouse within. It is shedding light and spreading this light in all directions over every path of your life. It is leading you, guiding you towards your truth, leading you home to that place of peace within. And so whenever you stray away from the borders, the shores of your own sense of happiness and peace, this light never turns off and it never leaves you stranded. And so just feel yourself, feel the security of this inner light within you. And just be aware of how expansive and how far-reaching this light is for the purpose of supporting you. And as you just allow yourself to feel the warmth, and you may feel that as you surrender to this, you may feel an acceleration of the frequency of this light. You may feel also that it is sort of glowing brighter, and you can feel it increasing. And so just let it flow through your cells and breathe it into every part of your body, any part of your body that needs healing, any part of your spirit that needs balance, any part of your emotions that is seeking more of a spiritual alignment and flow. And allow yourself to feel as though you're connecting with the network of light houses that are souls that are out there, the souls who are listening to this recording right now, and everyone around the world, every animal, every tree, every plant, that you're connecting them with the earth, and that you send this light now with intention through your body, down through your feet, and into the earth. And let it connect into hollow earth and the ley lines around the planet. And feel that activation turn on within you as you now become one with everything that is. So they're reminding me of some things that they were showing me as I was beginning this meditation. And they're giving me two symbols here, the third eye, and when I see a naked behind, a person who's fully unclothed from the backside, but I was seeing two people. And so what this tells me is that we're having a lot of sensitivity in terms of our intuition. So we're feeling a lot of emotional intensity. Maybe you're feeling it a little bit more than others. And they keep showing me teeth and very jagged and kind of all over the place. Not a great set of chops, but what this means, teeth for me means when we're being critical and we're judging. And they're right in the word lack and crowd. So what they're saying is that a crowd, there's this energy of lack in the crowd, and they're right in the word safe, and that we're sort of just perpetuating this crowd mentality. So you want to be careful about getting caught up in the crowd mentality. Don't be afraid to go with in a different direction. Don't be afraid to be a leader. Don't be afraid to express love is the word they're writing out. They want you to know that you're safe. There was something about that lack, that we were peace, that we were focusing on. Maybe it'll come back. But it just feels like you want to be aware of being negative in your perspective about how you're looking at things. So you may not see opportunities, or you may be going on and on. The crowd may be going on and about how much we've lost since certain things have been going on in the world. And we look at the world today and we go, oh, it's all just going to hell, and so it's just getting worse. And when you start doing this, you start focusing on the lack, and then you have to have evidence to provide proof of what you are believing. So you're sending out a signal to the universe and offering that this is how it is. You're offering this signal of lack. You don't feel safe. And the universe doesn't say, oh, we really need to change this a little bit, because if we let them have this is not going to be what they want. This is not going to be, how they want it to be. So let's help them out. It doesn't work like that. The laws of the universe, the law of attraction, sort of cause and effect here, is what it does is what you offer is what you get back, so that you can see what it is that you're creating, in order for you, because you have free will, to make the choices to somehow shift, to adjust, to reassess, and to realign. So you are always aware of what you're doing, but you may not pay attention. And if you pay attention, they're right in the word afford. It would have, as if to say, you can't afford not to pay attention. You can't afford not to pay attention, because you are a creator, and everything that you offer is what the law of attraction executes with perfection. Now you say, wow, but my life sure doesn't feel perfect. Yes, but that's the perfection that you've offered. That's how clear you're being. So the thing is, when you think you're not clear, when you think you're confused, that when you believe you're confused, when you think you don't have the answers, that is a clear vibration. And that is what you're going to get back. You're going to feel more of this situation, this environment of confusion, because as far as the universe is concerned, you're supposed to sort of be noticing that when you keep given the same information out, that it keeps coming right back to you. And it comes back to you in a variety of ways so that you can have as much of a learning experience, because that's what you're really offering, of what you're putting out there. So maybe that you can go, aha, I see this connection. Every time I believe this, I end up experiencing that. And I experience it in this situation, I experience it in this situation. Oh my goodness, all of these situations I thought were different and unique and had no connection, but I see that all of them have one connection, and it involves me, and it involves the way I feel, or it involves the way I perceive things, or the way I judge them. And it's really hard for us to not judge, because we are always assessing what's coming to us and what's happening to us, and whether or not this is right or wrong. Now, the thing usually that right or wrong comes from sort of some determined criteria that we either get from our social groups, let's put it that way, or they're things that we've developed personally. We've decided, now I get this, and now I'm going to just, every time this happens, I'm going to recognize that this is what's going on. But a lot of those things are so rigid and specific that we don't allow them to evolve. We don't recognize that we will evolve, and therefore the situation will also evolve. That's why it's much better to be as general in your criteria, so that you don't run the risk of getting stuck, pinned down by your own assessment. And that's why discernment is so different from judgment, because discernment is basically you're using your intuition. But let's be a little bit more specific about that. I think the distinction is that you go to it with an open mind, a clear slate, and you have one desire. You want to be in alignment with your soul. You want to feel at peace. You want happiness. And so you discern without, you're more of an observer. It lacks ego. You're letting go of, your concerns or looking at things through sort of a narrow lens. And you're just going to be broad, and you're just going to observe and see how this affects you. So it's almost like you're sort of setting up an experiment, and you are saying to yourself, okay, let's see what this is. Let's see how you come in with fresh perspective, fresh eyes, and you're saying, okay, let's just see how this is going to affect me, or might affect me. Let's see how I feel about this. How I connect with this. I'm just going to observe. But when we judge, we tend to make up our minds right away. We recognize some cues, and we're just like, oh no, I'm not even going to go there. And there are some times when you say that, and it's general, and you just know it very well. And I'm not telling you to go against that. What I am telling you to do is to not be afraid to observe and see what it is. That way you'll be clear that it's not just ego and your limitations in being flexible. Because when you know you're going to use discernment, you are not attached, you're detached. You're not investing yourself in emotionally into anything. You're there to be a witness, just like spirit is a witness to everything, but never judging it, but always full of compassion and love and unconditional love. And so you will observe as though you're looking through a window, and then you will possibly, it's like an experiment, you will see things, and you will be aware, you'll watch the process and see if how this interacts with you or how it affects you. When you go within and you call up two different situations, it's always good to first clear your mind, center and ground, really get into a sacred space. And we all have our different rituals. We may meditate to do that. It could be that you painting or some hobby grounds you and centers you. It helps you to know who you are. You feel most clear when you're doing that, and so you go do that. And then when you would assess this situation from the space of clarity that you have. Sort of, there's a process of getting into a place to actually use discernment. But with judgment, we just skip all of that. And we could be, spinning out on something else and then, come in right there and then there and just go, no, I'm not with that. That's not for me. So you know yourself. And that's one thing I want to just preface all of this with. You know who you are, and you know yourself, and you know what you're good at, and you know what you're open to or not. And so I do not want you to go against that, but I do want you to not be so judgmental. Don't be so ready to fix your mind about what's going on, and especially don't just accept what the crowd is saying. I'm getting a sense that in this time in particular, and all the chaos that's going on in our world politically right now, it's prepping us for something really important. So we can get really frustrated and get caught up in the crowd and, take sides and, just spend most of our day just going on and on about it and complaining about it, instead of being aware of what this is helping us to do. Because there's a lot of information coming from a lot of different places, and now there is more, I'm trying to think of the right word. It seems to me that the truth used to be closer together, like there was a commonality you could find, a common thread, but now it seems like all the threads are spinning a different story, and it's causing a greater gap in the ability to know what's really happening with, let's say, a particular story or anything that's being said in the news. It's all kind of not true, because it's just all so different. Everybody is really spinning something different. They're not really. It used to be that you would have more, they were all on the same page. I mean, that may be making it too simple, and excuse me if I am, but what I'm just getting in this moment is that learning to discern the truth for yourself, and not just to discern the truth about, to don't just use this discernment to protect yourself from everything else that's going on. Don't do it just to be aware of who's telling you the truth or not. Because, see, the ego can use that as a little bit of leverage to draw you right back into that mentality. What I want you to do is to recognize, I want you to surrender. I want you to really surrender to everything that's going on. And I want you to surrender to your own inner well-being. That you recognize that you could stop and go, oh, this is all happening to help me become stronger, to help me to evolve, to help me to prepare myself for where we're headed in our ascension process, where we'll all be all be our own truth seekers and truth detectors. So, this where we're headed when we go through our ascension process and we really evolve into that fifth dimensional frequency, we will have such perfect alignment with the truth that it won't matter if others are lying. You don't have to call them out on it, because you just will know. And you will just know what you need to do for you at all times. And you'll know what you need to do as you're guided by Spirit to further the purpose of whatever it is you do that is in service to the world, to help bring it into balance with the universal truth. So if you take, this is like being in a sort of a workshop or a class session, learning session, where the environment is so full of contrast and it's so disruptive that it forces, it's like the catalyst for this beginning, which starts within you. You have to stop worrying about everything else outside of you, because you can't do anything until you get right with you inside. That's when your power turns on, and that's when you become a guiding light, where you, by the way you walk and your actions and your choices and decisions, you lead truth. You lead it home. And all the sources of misinformation will fall away. The appeal of this will fall away, because you and all others who are lighting up in this way all the attention will be drawn to your way. And it may be that just this happens in your community, but if you change that collective, that crowd mentality, or it's in your job, if you affect that, think about each one of those persons, and then they will then affect someone else and a whole other group of people, and it just continues to spread. So don't underestimate or think too little of who you are and how much of a influence you have on the world, because you don't need to have a large group of people that you are reaching out to in order for this to happen. Okay. Let's see what the cards for the week are talking about, and see how this all plays out. But this is an important time for you to really nurture yourself and to become strong. What they're showing me is, like a woman in workout, like in her workout outfit, and but this is symbolic to me, and her breasts are very large. She's wearing the top and her workout clothes. But the thing is that for me, the breasts are about nurturing. So this is for all of us. This is sort of, nurturing all of ourselves. This is going to be a workout in nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself and finding alignment. This is the greatest opportunity. This is the greatest experiment, what's going on in our world right now, politically and in all other ways, all the craziness, all the chaos. This is the perfect environment to work out your intuitive skills, to work out exercise the potential of your soul, to give you to strengthen you and to enable you to be a strength of light in the world, to be a source of clarity, and to be a source of truth. This is the shift that has to happen. We're waiting for everybody to stop lying to us and start telling us the truth. No. It's going to start within us. Because when we activate within, you got to remember we're all connected, just like how we just did. Even if we're not even talking to each other in the same area, we're still all connected. So every time each one of us turns on, we activate a whole alignment of souls. We turn them on. A whole group of souls, and they don't necessarily have to be where we are standing. All right. Okay, I know that's kind of out there, but I think you'll understand as you work through this and you let yourself get away from feeling a certain way about everything that's going on. When you stop focusing on it from a place of lack and you start looking in with what is my soul allowing me to learn and experience through this. All right, and we have Archangel Uriel, and this card is claircognizance. So it says, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So claircognizance is when you just get this clear knowing. Some people just have this way where they'll see something and they just know what to do, and they don't know, and they don't even, they can just look at, let's say, this is just sort of give you one example of claircognizance sort of in the everyday life. You will just sort of look at something that needs to be put together, and you just know how to do it. You just know how to fix things, or you know what to say. You look at someone and you know what's going on with them. You're just that tuned into them. And this is the crown chakra. And so this is our connection to God as well. This is a place where doubt doesn't exist. And the thing about claircognizance that throws it off is when we practice doubt, when we spend a lot of time questioning everything that we do, when we're being critical. So in order for this to open up, we really need to stop being critical. It cuts us off from connecting with God and understanding what God is trying to help us with. We cut ourselves off from the ability to receive God's wisdom. So really be aware of how you're judging yourself, how you're doubting yourself, how you're questioning, because you're going to just get those questions back. When you offer doubt and questions, you're going to just, when you say, I don't know, and see the claircognizance is this, I know. When you say, I don't know, you're affirming that. And then that is a signal you get out to the universe, and you will get situations, a lot of situations, where you're going to feel insecure because you won't know how to handle them. Instead of things coming to you and where you do know how to handle them. And it doesn't mean that the universe is going to give you the things that are easier for you, but when you stop affirming this, things will come to you that you will just all of a sudden feel a connection with, and you'll understand what to do. Okay? So let me just tune into this card and see if there's sort of any additional information coming up. I just keep seeing a crowd. And so be aware, I feel like I'm hearing, know your own mind. Okay? So this is important for you to know your own mind. But in order to do that, you have to ground, you have to connect, you have to create a sacred space for yourself. So if any of you do readings, or you're healers, you know how you prepare for your client. You sage, you put down some crystals, you make your space beautiful, you clear it, you meditate, you breathe, or you do something relaxing, whatever gets you into that zone. this is what you need to do. You need to really practice this so that you know who you are. One of the great things that helped me, I used to do this before I would go out into the world so that I would know how I felt. And you when you meditate, you clear, you let go, you just feel really great. And then when I would go out and I would start to feel differently, I would recognize that now I'm experiencing the influence of the crowd. And the thing is, most of the times, because we're not paying attention, because we don't get ourselves prepared in this way before we leave. We don't prepare ourselves in a sacred space. And the sacred space doesn't mean just the physical space, but your mental, emotional preparation, your spiritual preparation. When you have that sacred space, when you go out, now I would go, oh, so now I could clearly see where the triggers were coming from the crowd, just getting caught up in the crowd. And not to say I was perfect at it, but it allowed me to just at least not take the blame once I got myself in the drama. I realized, okay, I let myself get suckered into this, and I could have just stayed out of it. And, just became a lesson to look back on and reflect on for the next time. But as you go forward, you will recognize, you can say, you know what, I'm not getting involved in this, because this just diminishes that sacred space that I have. And so that's what's so important here. All right, let's take a look at the cards for the beginning of the week. And again, this is the Prisma Vision Tarot by James R. Eads. And I know I'm going to put this in the description link below, just in case you are interested in these cards. So let's take a look at the first card. Okay, so we have death. All right, and you have this white rose, and the white rose, you can do this energetically, or you can have physical white roses. But the energy of the white rose is to purify, to kind of to give you to help you purge, to clear out. So this is what I'm getting a sense is that in this week there are going to be some things that you need to let go of. So that this is a card about transitioning or transformation, sort of a turnaround of a sort, or turn in a new direction, or new beginnings and some endings. What I'm getting a sense is that you, in order to really move forward, to put some things behind you, to make some changes, you're really going to have to sort of clarify, purge, detach, let go, okay? In order to really sort of be able to move forward, in order to be able to kind of get out of a rut. So, you may have to really change some habits, okay? This is, we have habits that we just hold on to. Example, I've been taking a supplement for the last couple of months, and it has just boosted my general well-being. I used to be so tired all the time, and ever since I started taking it, it took a month, but it finally kicked in. It's the Vital Red. Some of you may have heard of it, by Dr. Gundy. And I was just feeling like mental fog and, just exhausted, fatigued actually a lot. And I'm vegetarian, so I wasn't getting, it has a vitamin B complex, all of them in there. But the thing is, now I catch myself, because I'm so used to saying I was exhausted all the time or just tired. I was tired. I recognize that when it's time to go to bed, I'm not tired. I'm just sleepy, and it's just a little distinction, and it's a way for me, because I can feel that my body feels good, but I was so used to saying I'm tired, I'm exhausted, that I just said, it caused me not to do certain things. But now when I recognize, I go all day now and with energy, and it just lasts throughout the day. But I catch myself at times repeating that habit. And so I'm just giving you this example for you to look at. Sometimes we have little subtle things that we don't realize are just this huge influence. It's a limiting belief, something that devalues the moment, takes you out of the moment, because you're just so used to saying it that you don't even realize that you're feeling better, that you're really enjoying yourself, because you're always thinking about something that is weighing heavily on your mind and is causing you to feel anxious and stressed a lot. So just be aware that this may mean that you have some habits that you may have to let go of in order to move on. You want to just purge yourself of those things. Okay? And now we have, sorry about that, the Two of Wands. And this is a card about taking a moment to how you want to shape the world. Okay, so you're looking out at the world, and you are bringing. It's like you're ready to. You have something that you want to bring to the table, and you're just starting to really reflect about how you can shape the world, how your gifts, what you're inspired to do. So you may not have it may not be developed at this stage, but you're now, like you got with the Ace of Wands, something inspirational came to you, or something, a creative idea. And now you're in this place where you're looking at how this idea and fits in with who you are, and what opportunities, how it's going to shape your life, how it's going to change who you are, and how it's going to shape others. And you're making those decisions based on a purpose that you feel strongly about, a passion you feel strongly about. So this is a card of assessment as well, because you're trying to make the important decisions. You're trying to weigh your options, and you want to be true to this idea that was inspired in you, this purpose that was given to you. And so this makes sense in that there are some things that you're going to have to let go of here in order to be able to open up to that. So if you're struggling, and I see them just focus on the river there, it's like you need to be able to go with the flow. And in order to be able to go with the flow, you got to let go of some things that, the structures, those core, rigid sort of criteria that you carry inside of you. We're not saying to throw away our structure, not to say to throw away the skeleton. We need our skeleton, right? But who we become, how we evolve on top of all of that, how we treat our bodies, for example, or how we care for this project or this idea, and how that is important, how we keep our minds open and flow. Remember to flow with this, okay? So this is definitely going back to that discernment, where you're looking at and weighing both sides, looking at all the possibilities while always focused on the potential of this and trying to get that right balance. This card may mean working with others. Sometimes it may mean in some decks like a partnership, where you partner with someone to help you shape that, or it may mean that eventually you're going to be bringing in some other people, but you're weighing all of that right now. Okay, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. So you have the Queen of Pentacles, and so the Queen of Pentacles helps you to facilitates the growth. So she works with you to help you to develop the business side of this in this case. She helps you to nourish your dreams and in a practical way, so to help you kind of lay down some of the foundations of what you're trying to accomplish. So I usually think of this queen as also someone, you can see she's sitting in a strawberry patch, and it's just radiant, it's abundant. Okay, and so this gives you a sense of that you have an abundance of talents and gifts that, and a service that is just going to flourish and is going to support and sustain a lot of different people, and it's going to be supportive and sustaining of your needs that you have. So this is an important change. These habits, if you look at this sort of the story here, if you make these adjustments, you trust who you are, you trust your knowing, and you make these adjustments, and you make these adjustments according to this plan that you have, that you will create something. You will create something that will really flourish, that will provide a profound service to others. So it feels like you're trying to work on, that you're trying to bring something forward that's going to really help many other people, or is going to be something that really supports. And maybe you're the Queen of Pentacles here, where you're trying to help. I'm seeing this hall with a window, and it sort of just kind of goes down, and it feels like there's just lots of opportunities there. So you may be in a situation where right now a lot of opportunities are coming to you, where you're this path that you're on, that there are opportunities that are opening up for you. What you need to do is, they're showing me sort of a bear mask, or sort of a helmet, that what you need to do is really go within, okay, and pay attention to your gut instincts, so you'll know which decision is right for you. So don't just look at this on the surface and say, oh, no, that doesn't work for me, or no, I don't like that because you may be missing out on the right opportunity. They keep writing the word pay. So I feel like that this is something that is paid, will be paid, or that you will be paid well, you'll be paid what you're worth. And they're showing me an umbrella that's like a mushroom, so that, this is going to be a safe opportunity for you. And it's going to be a rewarding opportunity. This is something that's going to, what I keep getting is that this card, in that respect, is talking about something that's going to sustain you, something that's going to nurture you. You've been looking for something, an opportunity that would nurture you, that would sustain you financially, that would give you more opportunities, that would lead to more opportunities. So really take time with this part of the process, with really planning, balancing things out. This is where the discernment piece is really going to be important, to trust your thoughts. So you're going to want to doubt yourself a lot, but you're going to have to let go of that doubt in order to get a clear plan. You just need to go with the flow. Don't try to stop. It's like, let's just say if you were in a boat, which she's not in this card, but just get this sense to kind of maybe illustrate what I'm trying to say. Say you were in this boat, and you were just going downstream, and you didn't really know exactly where this was taking you, but you have those two wands, and you can use them as an oar. So the idea is that you maybe don't want to jump in, or you're afraid to take the risk to jump in because you're worried that you're going to get stuck. But the thing is that you're going to balance this thing. You're going to have the tools you need to balance the direction you steer in. Okay? But what I'm getting is don't not do it. And that's, well, I can't say that, double negatives. Don't be afraid to do it just because of what the negative thoughts in your head or your negative experiences in the past. Like, let them go. Don't be caught on. It's another thing too, but the white roses drawing me. It's like you've evolved. You're different now, and maybe a long time ago you wouldn't have had the skills or training. You wouldn't have known what to do. You didn't have the experience from life to know how to navigate a situation. But now you do. You're more prepared than you really truly know that you give yourself credit for. The Queen of Wands indicates that you're definitely more mature in your financial situation. You, even if you're not rolling the money, if you're not feeling successful, but you've learned a lot. You just haven't put it into practice, and you're ready to put that into practice right now. So don't hold back because of who you used to be. Let that person go. Let those experiences from the past. It was painful, but you grew from that. You learned lessons from it. But you can't let the pain stop you from being aware of what you learned and now to put it into practice. All right, let's take a look at the card from the bottom of the deck. So this is the Five of Swords. And so this is kind of telling us that you are you're undermining yourself. Okay, you're undercutting yourself a lot. And the swords are about the communication of mental state. So you're undercutting yourself a lot. You see how he's like sort of got his sword on his leg. He could cut him from behind. So there's this whole thing of not playing fairly, But here for you, it's about you. You're the one that's undercutting yourself with your negative thoughts and beliefs. And so notice here, this one is distracted by a butterfly, which represents change. And there's a bridge that in this next card where the butterflies are, caught his attention, say, go, it's time to move on, cross this bridge. And when you say, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, well, it's telling you, you're right at that point now. You there's a bridge right there, so cross it and leave this stuff behind. Leave this behind and go towards this now. Okay? This is where you're headed. All right, so we probably could go on and on about this, but let's. I think we're ready to stop here, and I thank you all for joining us for this reading. And if you're looking for an angel reading, you can contact me at theangelschool.com on the services page, and you can find that link in the description below, this description box below. If you haven't joined us for the daily card messages, where we do readings on my Facebook page, please come to that page and you can read the daily card messages. If you don't have Facebook, I think you can connect through Twitter as well. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and I thank you for being a part of this reading, and hopefully that this brings you some inspiration and insight into some of the changes that you're ready to make, and some of the things you need to let go in order to heal. So, our death card is the main card for this week that you're going to be learning to let go, or that you're going to need to let go. All right. God bless you all. Bye-bye.